Hello, Fifth Square. This is Katherine Gilmore Richardson. First, I want to thank your team and all of you for this wonderful event in the community tonight. I just wanted to come out and say thank you for your work and great advocacy to help us improve our transit, for safer streets and sidewalks, for better public transit, and for all the work that you all do for our built environment and infrastructure in the city of Philadelphia. It has been my pleasure to serve you for the last 3 years, serving as chair of City Council's Committee on the Environment, and we were able to pass the first of its kind tree bill, where if trees are taken down during a development, they must be replaced 1-to-1 or pay into a tree fund so that we can increase our tree canopy here in the city of Philadelphia. And we continue to make important investments to ensure that we can increase investment in our public spaces and help to have better public transit. So I just wanted to come by to say thank you, to ask for your support on Tuesday, May 16, and ask you to continue to advocate on behalf of our Philadelphia community so that we can be number one for safe streets, safe sidewalks, better public transit, built environment, and infrastructure. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Quetcy Lozada, and I'm the candidate for the 7th Council District. I'm currently serving as the councilperson as a result of a special election. I'm happy to be here this evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am born and raised in the 7th Council District. I'm raising my family in the district, and I live off of off of Roosevelt Boulevard. And so the Fifth Square's questionnaire taught me a whole lot about what people's interests really were and how important roads and greening spaces are important to communities. I've worked in Hunting Park in a community that has the highest heat index, and where some of our streets are not as pedestrian friendly as they should be. And so I'm committed to ensuring that all of our spaces, the tree canopy is increased, and that our streets are accessible to pedestrians as well as being safe to motorists. And I am interested in learning more from organizations and members of Fifth Square to improve the quality of life in places like the 7th Council District. We've seen a lot of development in parts of the district, but many parts of the district have not seen the benefits of development. And so I'm looking forward to working with organizations like this one to better improve the quality of life in the 7th Council District. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eryn Santamoor. I'm running for City Council at large, and I love Fifth Square so much. I've been a member for a number of years. I also treasure my traffic cone that's sitting on my desk and keeps me motivated, because if we are not pushing city government to do better and be better, it will stay stale and not do anything fun and exciting. I've spent my whole career working to fight for reform in city government. I built programs like Philly 311 so we could eliminate the who you know culture of city government and you could get better services. But I think we are in a moment of time where we really have to start to focus on affordable housing, and that's transit-oriented development projects, building dense projects with affordable housing inside so we can have more people who have secure housing in the city of Philadelphia. And we need to start talking about the kind of materials we use and the kind of homes we build in Philadelphia. I am here for all of it. I have challenged Councilmatic prerogative by working on streeteries and outdoor dining. I plan to continue those conversations if elected. City Council at large, please look me up, Eryn Santamoor for City Council at large. Thank you so much for being here and doing what you do each and every day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jalon Alexander. I'm from Strawberry Mansion. My introduction into politics was at 5 years old when Republicans attempted to bribe my great-grandmother not to vote. And she said, "You couldn't buy me for 30 pieces of silver. I'm going to vote. My community's coming with me." So I took that, and I became the first elected African-American student body president of all 19 campuses in the state of Pennsylvania. And from there, I was a student board of trustee member, and I operated and managed a budget of $6 billion. That's $200 million more than the budget in the city of Philadelphia. I went to the University of Pittsburgh School of Law and became a cybersecurity attorney. Now, the one thing I know is that this city works best when we work together. And that means we need to make public transportation more accessible for everyone, and we need to make housing more accessible for everyone. So I support the expansion of low-income rider fare programs. I will support inclusive housing. But I've got to tell all of you, none of that means a thing if the city isn't safe and we can't access it. So I put forth a program called Drone Force Philly. It's using technology and it's using inclusive policing to make the community safer. So what's it look like? We're going to deploy 2 drones at all 21 police precincts around the city, and we're going to use those to stop illegal dumping to make our community cleaner. We're going to use that to stop carjackings. We're going to use that to automate them to respond to live action shootings so that we can respond and make our city safer immediately. We've got to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. We know we need to invest in our institutions. We need to invest in public transportation. We need to invest in our recreation centers. But none of that matters if we can't access them. I care about accessibility. I was a disability rights advocate. I've done disability law. So I'm asking on May 16th, you join me as we move this city forward and we use technology and the tools we have today to make Philadelphia safer. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, very enthusiastic. Well, let me just start out by saying, number one, thank you all for being here, for being engaged in electoral politics, for being engaged in everything that's getting ready to happen on May 16th. This city is about to change, and I want to be a part of that change. I've been a part of Philadelphia City Council for quite some time now. We have a record of accomplishments that we're running on. We have a record of work, of service, of serving the community, of getting things done, and we're not all the way there yet. And there's a lot that we've done, but there's a lot more that we need to do for this city. So I'm going to ask you, encourage you to support me on May 16th, Tuesday, May 16th. I would love to stay a little bit longer. I do have another engagement, but I wanted to stop by because this event was very important to me to tell you how much I appreciate your involvement. I appreciate your activism. This organization is one of the new organizations, premier organizations in the city of Philadelphia that's really doing electoral politics, and we want to work with them. Why? Because we know that gentrification is a problem. We know that there's an issue around affordable housing in the city of Philadelphia that we should do something about. Not developers, not outsiders, not other people, but we, the city of Philadelphia, should be much more engaged as a city, taking responsibility for making sure that there is affordable housing here in the city of Philadelphia. There's so many other things that need to be done. We have a focus on quality of life issues. Right now we're working on trash and dumping in our city. We're working on rebuild to make sure that all of our public amenities live up. Oh, dang, 30 seconds. Okay, sorry. All of our public amenities live up to what we want them to be, what they should be, what they were promised to be in the city's rebuild proposal. We're also working on crime and violence. We've been working on a proposal around what do we do, or what do you do if the shooter lives with you? That's the conversation we've been having with folks everywhere, because we know that most of our shooters and most of our victims are young. They live at home. They live at home with their parents, their caregivers. Those guns, weapons are at home with them. And so what do you do when you flip up the mattress and you see a firearm under the mattress? Most people I know, just keeping it real and being 100%, they are not going to call the police on that young person in their house. But at the same time, we need to have a solution. So thank you. My time has run out. I appreciate everyone being here and look forward to dialoguing with you in the future. God bless. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? So it's great to be here tonight. My name is Seth Anderson-Oberman. I am running for City Council to represent the 8th District. I'm a Germantown resident, born and raised. Can you guys hear me? I'm running because things are changing rapidly in our district, in the city. We've seen gentrification march up Germantown Avenue. We've seen apartment building after apartment building being built with no affordable housing. We've seen people being priced out of our neighborhoods and communities. What's happening needs to end. Developers have been given free rein, and they need to be reined in. We need community-led development. We need massive building of low income and a deeply affordable housing in the city. That's what we need across the city. That's what we need in this district. I was reading on your website that that we're in need of 70,000 affordable units in the city of Philadelphia. Yet, for the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I've seen apartment complex after apartment complex go up in my neighborhood with no affordable housing. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Because elected officials are letting it happen. Because the people who are writing the laws are letting it happen. We need to make very different choices. We need to make very different choices about housing. We need to make very different choices about community safety that put community first. Okay? We can't address community safety in communities that don't have affordable housing, fully funded schools, access to health care. These are the things that create safe and sustainable communities, and this is what we're fighting for. I ask for your support on May 16th. Please come out and vote, join the campaign, be engaged, help us make this city and this economy a city and economy that works for everybody, not just the privileged few. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Janay Hawthorne. I'm running for City Council in the 9th District, which is adjacent to the 8th District where we are right now. I worked for the City of Philadelphia for about 10 years as a local level project officer managing over $50 million in public health and behavioral health programming. I resigned to run, and now I'm a public health policy professor at Arcadia University. So why am I here? Why run for office? I'm here because I share your vision for a more accessible, sustainable, and equitable Philadelphia. And that's where my background in public health policy and my Health in All policy platform connects with your mission. Public health isn't just about COVID and infectious diseases, everyone. It's not. It focuses on the totality of our built environment and how it impacts our overall quality of life and our health. I want to push for legislation that helps dispel the label that we have as being the poorest big city in the country. And that means creating more affordable housing opportunities, as well as keeping people in their homes and combating systemic displacement. All right? We here? We here? Okay, okay. We need a transportation system and streets that are safe and accessible for all Philadelphians. So that means public transit, that means if you want to bike, that means if you want to drive, or even if you want to walk. So I look forward to partnering with you all, because I saw that 30-second thing and it kind of caught me off guard. I really have most time when I'm teaching. But I look forward to partnering with you all and understanding your platform and your depthly. And I hope to gain your support and your endorsement here at Fifth Square. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, thank you. Hello, Fifth Square. My name is Drew Murray, and yes, I'm a Republican running for City Council at large. I live in the Logan Square area, neighborhood of Philadelphia. I got my start in this world like many of you. I got my start in the RCO Neighborhood Association world. I got my start in the Parks Friends group. I do a lot of jobs that don't pay me any money. For the past, over 10 years, the last decade, I've been the president of the Friends of Cox Park. For over 10 years, I've been on the board of the Logan Square Neighborhood Association. For 4 of those years, I served as president of that RCO. I'm on the board of Center City District with Paul Levy. I'm on the Finance Council of the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul. I'm a ward leader. I'm also the chairman of the Philadelphia Crosstown Coalition. I say that one last because when I stand in front of the Crosstown Coalition, where I am the chairman, I am normally the only Republican in the room. But they elect me over and over again. It's because I am respected as a leader in the city of Philadelphia in the RCO world. They respect my leadership. They respect my pragmatism. And when it comes to Fifth Square, I say I'm a different type of Republican. I'm an environmentalist. People get surprised when they hear, Drew, you're an environmentalist, you're a Republican. Yes, I am. I'm a card-carrying member of the Bicycle Coalition of Philadelphia. In fact, when I was president of the Logan Square Neighborhood Association, I sat on the task force that vetted the bike lanes on Market Street and JFK. And although I stayed neutral, my leadership absolutely helped push those bike lanes through our neighborhood, through our community. When Logan Square went through the rezoning process, as the leader of that association, we upzoned a lot of parcels. You don't normally see neighborhood associations willingly upzone parcels. But we did it. We looked at it. We thought, what's best for Center City, what's best for Logan Square, and what's best for the city of Philadelphia. So we looked at the Broad Street corridor, we looked at the Market Street corridor, and we upzoned those parcels because the more density we have, we want more affordable housing, then we need more density. And I'm a believer in working with developers. Density is can be very good when done correctly. I see my time is up, so I'm just going to say thank you. Have a great night, everyone. Nice seeing everyone.
So, my name is Elizabeth Hall Lowe, and I am running for the office of Register of Wills. As she said, most of you know, so you know that that office touches the lives of everybody in the city of Philadelphia. Whether you are going to get a will probated, you're going to get married, you are getting out of the military and getting your discharge papers, or you're going to get your mortgage satisfied papers. That office touches everybody one way or another. And I am running because I want to bring that office more to the 21st century. I know that it's a lot of things in that office that have to stay paper-based and that cannot change. But what can change is setting up satellite offices around the city to make it more accessible for our senior community. They always get left behind, except when it's an election year. And my thing is, I want to make sure that they feel recognized and they are acknowledged every year. My grandfather is 90, and my biggest fear is him going down to City Hall, walking up them steps and falling. And I can alleviate that by setting up satellite offices throughout the city. For example, right here, we have the Nicetown CDC. Everybody in his neighborhood knows where that is. How easy would it be for him to walk down the street from his house to go in here and get his will handled, to get something notarized, to answer questions? How many times have you called this office and been bounced around trying to talk to somebody? Making it more accessible for them. Educating the everyday Philadelphian about this office, because going around campaigning, I realized that most people have no idea what the Office of Register of Wills does. Making that education, making it more accessible, making sure that people know what this office is and how it affects their lives, not just when somebody passes away or you're going to get married, but in general. And also making the office more transparent, making sure that you can find everything that you need and you know who to talk to. Because my thing is, when I went down there for my grandmother, it was hard to find the information that I needed, and I want to make that accessible. Right now, I work for GlaxoSmithKline as a global compliance lead. And this is what I do on an everyday basis globally, and I want to bring it to Philadelphia. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for letting me speak, and I will be here to answer any questions you guys may have. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. My name is Seth Bluestein. I am one of the 3 city commissioners in charge of elections in Philadelphia. And I will be up for re-election in November to run the elections for the city. And before I talk about my office briefly, I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for supporting Fifth Square. I want to support you for getting involved in your communities. It is so important that our democratic process is not just limited to Election Day, but that we are involved every single day. Now, a little bit about me. I served in the commissioner's office for the last 10 years, side by side working for Al Schmidt as his chief of staff. It was our job to run the elections for the last 10 years, including what I'm sure all of you saw was running the elections in 2020, which got a lot of coverage. And what we make sure we do in our office is make sure that elections are run fairly, securely, and accessibly for every single Philadelphian. No matter who they're voting for, it is our job to make sure that their votes are counted. We did that in 2020, and we have a very important election coming up next year, and we need every single person to focus on this race to make sure that we are returning experienced election administrators to run the elections for Philadelphia. We cannot risk being unprepared and not being ready to run the elections for the next presidential election and beyond. So I really hope that you'll come out and support me in November. You can vote for anybody you want. It doesn't matter what your party affiliation is. And I really hope I can earn your support. And I'll be here to answer any questions throughout the rest of the night. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How are you tonight? My name is Yvette Young, and I'm running for City Council in the 9th District. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and I'm a graduate of Temple University with my master's degree in civil engineering. I worked as a staff engineer at the Philadelphia Gas Works doing paving. I've also worked for the Department of Public Property over the recreation renovations and new construction. And it's so important that we focus on the infrastructure of Philadelphia. Right now, SEPTA is doing a reorganization of bus routes. So the impact that this office has on our residents is significant. I want to make sure that when we get that infrastructure money, that we're building bike lanes, that we're doing big things like on Roosevelt Boulevard, which is one of the most dangerous, has several of the most dangerous intersections in our country, so that we're saving lives. And before I touched on, I have a sister that is in a wheelchair. She's a double amputee. The importance of curb cuts and different things like that. So we have to focus on infrastructure and various things in our communities. And I'm going to be that person to be the change for Philadelphia, to make sure that we're doing that and focusing on keeping Philadelphia clean and safe. Thank you very much. My name is Yvette Young, running for City Council in the 9th District. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. My name is Jabari Jones. I'm running for the 3rd City Council District, which is west and parts of Southwest Philly. I want to thank the organizers of Fifth Square for inviting me out and having this forum to talk to you all. I'm running as a moderate Democrat in the 3rd Council District, and I'm also running to be the youngest member of City Council to represent the 3rd District at 28. I think that a lot of the problems that we see in our city can be solved through partnership, and that's why I'm a big fan and supporter of partnering with both our nonprofit and our business community to solve a lot of those challenges. A lot of people think that the relationship between business and community is always an adversarial one. But I've seen examples and led examples that show otherwise. Before I made this run for office, I ran the West Philadelphia Corridor Collaborative, which was the largest business association in West Philly. We did a number of social entrepreneurship projects where we organized businesses to solve some of the challenges that we have in neighborhoods, not admire them, not scan them, not come up with all the different reasons why this problem exists or all the different terms that we could use to describe it, but actually solve some of those challenges. You know, during my administration, we've taken apart vacant lots and turned them into productive spaces. We built a retail mall out of shipping containers that now houses 20 tenant small businesses on 48th and Parkside. We addressed the public safety crisis by funding hundreds of free cameras for residents and businesses in high crime areas to help perpetrators, law enforcement be able to identify perpetrators of violent crime. And we have done a number of advocacy issues around transit and transportation. We've been a very supporter for new construction of quality, decent housing, as well as the conversion of vacant properties into things that will benefit our community. So I will be around, and I would love to meet anybody who wants to chat about affordable housing, urban development. And thank you again for inviting me, Jabari Jones, 3rd District.